So here we are in the classroom, and here I'm going to demonstrate to you what I call the psychology of bogey. The psychology of bogey is based on fear. It's nothing more than fear, tentativeness. A player, all of their life, all of their golf career, what they've heard is a tap-in par, or just get it close to the hole, just cozy it up there. So that's a great way to shoot over par. And there are many reasons why, but I think, in my mind, and from my experience working with all kind of players, other than players on the PGA Tour who do not have a fear of bogey, is that the player is a perfectionist, or they're trying to be very careful. What they're trying to do is avoid a big putt coming back. So, well, why are they trying to avoid a 5-footer coming back because they rammed it past the hole 5 or 6 feet? Why is somebody trying to avoid that? Well, they're afraid that they're going to miss the 5 or 6 footer, you see. So then therefore, to avoid the possibility of missing a 5-foot putt for par, is easier and safer just to cozy it up to the hole, see. Well, what is it that, so psychologically, what's really happening here? Fear of 3-putting. What's a 3-putt? Bogey or double. Fear of the bogey. You see, the psychology of bogey is rooted in fear. All right, so let me demonstrate it to you right now. Here is the cup. That's the goal. That's the goal right there. Here is a 15-foot putt for birdie. Let's say 15 feet. All right. So the player makes the putt. This is just a flat now. Let's say this is just a flat putting surface. There's no uphill, no down here. It's just flat. Maybe it breaks off a little bit. So the player puts the ball and it ends up right here, an inch from the hole. Tap in, par. Okay. So when I ask the player, why did you not get it past the hole? Say, well, you know, I wasn't 100% sure of the break or the speed or something like that. No. Past the hole. Past the hole. Over here is the possibility of bogey. Over here. Under here, just get it here, tap it in. Let's just go to the next hole. That's safe. That's par. But right here, everything and below here, that's a great way to stay off of the PGA Tour. That's a great way to stay on the Corn Ferry. This is a wonderful way here to be a scratch player. 72, right? 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. Wonderful. That's a great way to do that. This is how players do not get to the PGA Tour. This is how a player does not win a golf tournament right here. 2 birdies and 2 bogeys. That's it. Why is that? Afraid of bogey. They're afraid to hit it past the hole, because if they got a 3 or 4 or 5 footer coming back, they're bringing in the possibility of what they perceive as failure. They're going to fail. They're not going to make that putt, and they're going to have a bogey on the hole. 3-putt bogey. They've brought it in now. You're bringing it in, the possibility of bogey. But guess what? Here's the kicker here. If you get it here, and this 5 feet here, you know exactly what it's going to do as far as the break is concerned. You know what the break is going to do here. Get it on the line, which you know it's going to break, and put it on the same speed it's going in the hole. So let's say you miss it on this side, right here. Again, you can see where the break is happening. You know how much break is going to come back on the putt. All you got to do then is hit it on the same speed. Hit the same speed, and logically, with the same line here, you know what the grain is going to do. You know what the slope is going to do. It'll go into the hole. See? Either one of these putts here, either right or left, you can see it's going to be basically the same amount of break. So all you have to do is just adjust the line, and it'll go right in the hole. All you got to do is keep the speed the same. Now, if you hit it firmer coming back, you've taken out the break, and that could be a strategy for you. But at least you know if you hit it past the hole, you know how much break to predict coming back. You know what the break is going to be based on the speed in which you hit it past the hole. Okay? So that's the number one psychological thing you need to know about getting it past the hole, is that you gave yourself a chance, number one. Number two is that you know what the break is going to come back. You see? That right there, this one concept right there can increase your confidence. Now you say, Dr. Trammel, I know when I make a three putt bogey, it destroys my confidence. You're looking at it the wrong way. At least you gave yourself a chance for birdie here. So that's another concept here I want to discuss with you, is that when you're here and you do this and you leave it short right here, time after time after time after time, you know as well as I do, that's a gut punch right in the lower abdomen. You keep cheating yourself. You keep cheating yourself out of great birdie opportunities. And quite frankly, that might be worse for you. A tap-in par might be worse for you than a 3-putt bogey, because you keep cheating yourself out of opportunity after opportunity. So what I am suggesting to you is that down the road, as you get more and more acclimated, facing the fear. This is fear right up here. This is all fear right up here. Once you keep facing the fear, it would be better for you to stare the dragon down instead of cozying up to him right here. It'd be better for you. Now, if you want to play on the PGA Tour and you can't get there, you can't play PGA Tour golf and be one of these players right here. You can't do it. What is the average birdies on a PGA Tour player? The average birdie is about, what, 4? 3 to 4, I believe, birdies per round. So what's the average score of a PGA Tour player? 70, 71, somewhere in that neighborhood? So making short here, in no way. There's no way you can play top tier golf and have fear of bogey. And the players that do have fear of bogey up here, they're on the Corn Ferry player. They're on the Corn Ferry. They haven't worked all this out yet, you see. So that's what I am suggesting to you. This is fear. All of this beyond the hole and everything is fear. If you can just get the ball somewhere, right in here, maybe, 15 to say 20 inches past the hole, somewhere in here, in this area, 15 to 20 inches past the hole, that's your drill. That will be your drill. So let's recap on this. Why is it important to putt past the hole on most putts now? Okay, you don't want to leave yourself a tricky downhill putt on a leave. Now, I understand that. But for the most part, you have to figure out what is your number here. Is it 15, 20 feet, 25 feet? What is the number? What is the number of lag? What's that number here that you'll be comfortable with hitting it past the hole? It could be 30 feet. Every putt past, under 30 feet is past the hole. Most people, it's around 15 to 20 feet. Getting it past the hole would be their goal. Okay? And so to recap, the 3 reasons why it is important to get it past the hole, increase your chance of birdie. No ball, no cup is coming to the ball. You have got to get the ball past the hole, or at least to the hole, in order to make a putt. You have got, it's just common sense, right? I understand that it is common sense, but up here, again, is the fear. This is where the fear. I don't want to take a chance on 3-putting here. Well, if you don't want to take a chance on the 3-putt, you're robbing yourself of these opportunities to make birdie. Yes, you might make a 3-putt putt, and you might have 2-3 putts for a bogey, but you know what else you're going to have? The opportunity to have 3 or 4 more birdies. You follow what I'm saying? So for every time you say in your mind, I just want to cozy it up there, I just want to have a tap in for par, then you are robbing yourself of an opportunity for birdie, okay? you're robbing yourself of an opportunity for birdie. I guess the biggest thing is the number 3 here. It's just so demoralizing. You know, you make a great second shot, 10, 15 feet, whatever, looking at birdie, and then the putt comes up an inch or two short. I mean, it's like, you know, I know from my own experience, I mean, it's like a gut punch. It really is. And that I felt like, you know, I mean, I'm beating myself here, you know, and I don't have enough guts to get it past the hole. Now, you know, 1 or 2 times, okay, fine, but over and over and over and over, certainly in a tournament. I remember that very clearly when I was playing professionally in a tournament. I would just tap it up, tap it in par, and then move over to the next hole. But, you know, even though I was stoic on the outside, on the inside, I felt like, I mean, you got no guts. You're a coward. You're afraid. And that's what it was. See, it was fear of bogey. I was afraid of this part of the cup, you know, or part of the green. I was afraid. You see, what was I afraid of? I was a fear of bogey. The dragon was staring me right in the face and said, "You go no further." And I said, "Yes, sir. You know, I'll just take my 71 and I'll leave out of here today and fine." That you can't play tournament golf and expect to win or do anything the higher you go up in competition with that kind of mindset. You look at the players on the PGA Tour now, they don't leave it by the hole. That's why they're on the PGA Tour. These guys ram it past the hole. But they know the science behind this right here. You get it past the hole, you know what the break is going to do. Anyway, all you got to do is put it on the line and the same speed and it's there. But many times they hit it so firm, they just take out the break. They eliminate the right and left side of the cup. They just hit it in the middle, and if it curves off a little bit right or left, that's fine. So they've eliminated the break. Many times they'll just eliminate the break, hand it right in the middle of the hole. If it moves a little bit left or right, they're still within the margin of variance there. They're there. You see? Unless it's one of these deals right here, now that's a totally different thing. But I am talking about situations where the putt is basically flat. You know, I'm not talking about real cups that are downhill with a 3 or 4 foot break. Now, that's a totally different kind of scenario. This is for a putt that is basically flat, 15, 20, maybe even 25 feet, that may have a little bit of a break to it. Perhaps it does. And what I am saying is just eliminate most of the break if you can. Make it simple. Let's get back to simplicity. All you're working on is getting it online with the proper speed so that it gets past the hole 15 to 20 inches. You do that every time, guess what's going to happen? Click, click, bing, bing, bing. Now, you may have a few of these bogeys up here, but the birdies, the more birdies you will make will overcome the bogeys that you might make. You see? So then, after that, you start working on drills, getting it past the hole on the putting green, getting it past the hole in this semicircle here, 15 to 20 inches, instead of just hitting ball after ball after ball after ball like some kind of machine or something, which I did so many years of my career thinking that was, you know, that was really helping me be a better putter, which it did nothing. I should have been making putts past the hole, getting my mind used to getting into this so-called red zone here. But I don't even like calling it that. I just want to get it past the hole to give myself the best opportunity for birdie so that I can stare down the dragon and say, there is nothing here. There's nothing here. This is nothing more than fear in my mind. What am I afraid of? I am afraid of the bogey. But then if you want to go deeper down the old rabbit hole, if that's where you want to go with me, come on, let's go down the rabbit hole. Fear of bogey, what does it mean? What does it mean as we go deep, deep down the old rabbit hole? What does the fear represent? Depending on what level of player you are, on the junior level, it's embarrassment. The player is embarrassed. If they do poorly in a tournament, they feel like they're still developing their self-image, right? I'm supposed to be a great player. Here I am. I'm 3-putting. I've made 6 3-putts. I shot 82 today. Everybody is going to know that I'm a fraud, and I am embarrassed. And so I am supposed to be something, and then I'm afraid that, you know, I'm going to be called out for the hack that I am. I'm embarrassed. I'm going to embarrass myself. Fear of public embarrassment. That's on the junior level. A young person gets a little older, right? They're in college now. Fear of letting down somebody. They're going to let down the team, let down the parents, let down the coach. Worst of all, let themselves down. Why is that? Expectations. You know, they're a great player, or they think they're a great player. They've been told they're a great player. And now this up here represents fear of letting down everybody. You know, the responsibility is mine to, you know, be the last player on the team and, you know, bring home the cup or the trophy, and my parents have spent all this money on me, and, you know, all these clubs and lessons and so forth and so on. I owe them, you know, all this work I've done. I owe it to myself. I'm going to let myself down. I'm going to let the coach down. I'm going to let everybody down. Fear of letting people down. Lastly, on the third level, the professional level, fear of losing everything. Fear of losing their dreams. Fear of losing this. The last player, that PGA Tour player that had this situation that I was working with, had missed a putt in a tournament, a 2-foot putt in a tournament. He told me that he wake up in the middle of the night sweating that he was going to continue to do this. Think about that. And you talk about fear. This thing had gone down and cemented in his subconscious mind. Waking up, his subconscious mind was waking him up with the fear that he was going to continue to miss 2-foot putts. Can you, I mean, wow. So what was he afraid of? What was he afraid of? Fear of losing everything. Big house, car, the whole thing. Sponsorships, the whole thing. He was afraid of losing all the things that he had built up over this period of time. He was 25, now he's 26 years old. Fear of loss is what he was afraid of. The dragon takes on different persona as you get higher and higher in the food and the golf echelon, food chain of echelon, you see. So it's all about fear. This is a fear zone. But if you can get past that and understand, this has got nothing to do with fear. If you can understand that this right here, get past this part and don't call it fear at all. It's just a putt. It just went past the hole. And I know what the break is going to be. All I got to do is put it back on the correct line with the right speed. It's in the hole. Make it more sort of objective, right? Do it that way. Take out all of the fear if you can. Work on that. And understanding is the first part of it. The first part of understanding is or getting rid of fear is understanding fear. Once you understand where fear is and why it's affecting you, then that's the best way to overcome it, right? Take your putter out, just take it out of the bag and cut that head of the dragon off and get rid of it right now. So hopefully that makes sense to you.